Alright, let's rock. Let's go.
All right. Hopefully the very beginning of this, while we're like fading in, is Austin gagging in the background.
Right.
To start off, Austin has
Just
feelings about
time it
Jersey
up.
Mike's.
Yes. Yes. Well, I heard.
Well, welcome
Hello.
to the van. Hopefully you've been waiting for a long time to have this shining moment. This is the most exciting moment ever. Well, we'll start off. I'll introduce you. This is the one and only Rachel Nitz.
Hello.
If you've seen, I think it's like episode 7 or 8 or something like that, where her husband Rob was here with Jared, chatting for a little while. But I think today is a little bit more of a special day because you guys are picking up your second van.
Yes, 2.0.
So we'll get into like a little bit of the details of just like what it's like to be a mom in van life and like what is the Rachel Nitz story, like what is the van life story from your perspective. But first I want to just see how you're feeling about the second van, going from the first one that you guys had for so long to today, all the things.
Excited. Just ready to kind of get in there, unload our stuff, and like figure out where everything goes. We're coming from a mid-roof, and so like the amount of space that we have is crazy. The storage that we have is crazy. We have no storage in our first van, and our second van is a move. So we have like all the overhead storage and the below storage. I'm like, I can put stuff here, and I can shove more shit up there and do all this. So yeah, I'm kind of scatterbrained, excited.
Yeah. Well, and then you just ate a sandwich too, so
That
you're
too,
really
yeah,
probably really
I had a
like...
little bit of coffee. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, Rob said he was like shaking. He was so excited.
Yeah, he stopped drinking his coffee this morning because his heart wouldn't stop like pounding. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it. So yeah, you guys picked up in 2020 or
2021. Okay. So spring, I want to say it was March of 2021.
And Maddie was 6?
Yes.
Ish, something like that?
Yes, because 2020 she would have been in kindergarten. So yeah, she would have been in end of first grade. So she would have just turned 6. Or end of kindergarten. So she would just turn 6.
So she's growing up with the coolest childhood ever, getting to do van life.
Yes.
And so actually, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about you guys first. So I don't think when we had the episode with Rob, he really talked much about himself. So not. I'll give you the opportunity to speak for him and say, where are you guys from and what was kind of the decision leading into van life and, you know, having Maddie around that age, like just all the factors that went into deciding.
Well, where we're from is kind of a loaded question. So Rob is from northern Michigan. I am from northern Wisconsin. We actually live directly across Lake Michigan from each other our whole lives.
Oh.
Met each other.
That sounds like a love story.
Yes, right? Met each other when we were both in the Navy in Yokosuka, Japan. So kind of went halfway across the world, met each other.
Very romantic.
Yes, got married.
Someone write this into a book, please.
Yes, one day. But so we've been living in southern Wisconsin for the last 5 years. Rob was in the Navy for 16 years, and so that's what brought us back to Wisconsin. And yeah, so we like bought a house, did all the things, and I guess unbeknownst to me, buying a van has always been like his dream. He actually sent me a memory a couple years ago, which I think is what started this whole thing, was him like putting this post on Facebook saying that one day he was going to own a van. And this was like before him and I, like all this stuff. And then that just kind of like got the ball rolling, and we're like, maybe we should buy a van.
That's so cool.
And then COVID happened, and all he did was watch a ton of YouTube videos on vans, because he was locked down on the base and couldn't do much of anything else. So he was like, well, let's watch YouTube videos. And so watched all kinds of stuff, found Van Do It, and then from there we just kind of like hopped on in and started that whole thing.
Yeah, so what was it about Van Do It that made you guys decide to go with us?
I know this word gets thrown around a lot, but the modularity of it.
I mean, that's our main thing, so that's not a wrong answer.
Just the ability to do whatever our trip needs. And it, like, the van itself can, like, grow with us. So as Maddie's gotten bigger, like, we've changed how we travel in the van. We've changed the different things that we use. And now moving into an even bigger van, like, this is our next until she graduates van. So at least hopefully like that's our plan. And so like that's what we loved about it, is that every trip we take we can change it and it doesn't have to be set in stone. Like I feel like there's so much more space now that I've stood inside some of like the Sprinter vans and the I can't even think of what any of the other ones are.
Like ProMaster.
Yeah, like all like I've stood inside some of those and I'm like there's no space. I feel like I'm just cramped in there.
And you're not super tall, which is what we were talking about at the very beginning of this. It's not like, you know, you have that issue. I'm sure
I can't even touch the ceiling in the high roofs. So just
so
like
Rob
I can
will be
fully
turning
extend
on
my hands.
He will be turning
nothing.
on the air conditioner for you and the fan.
I'll jump on the bed and do it.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Man. So you standing up straight in a mid roof is probably no issue. Yeah. I'm sure I think Rob can.
We could have done like an extended length on a mid roof. I think I don't even think they make that though, right?
I don't think so either.
But we needed that space.
Worked. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Well, yeah, so when you first got it, did you have like reservations about like did you guys sell your house right away? Were you like, how are we going to do this? Is this a little crazy? Right. Probably. We're going to do it anyway. Like,
yeah.
Were you the voice of reason in this?
We took like 6 months before we decided we were going to sell our house. So we picked up our van in March of 2021. And then, I think maybe we had it throughout the summer. Like we did a couple, like we're only weekend, like we do weekend trips mostly. Mm-hmm. We'll do like a week here or a week there, but mostly it's just weekend trips. And we did that like the first time. We were like, you know what? Let's sell our house. Like we don't need this. This house is too big. We don't even go in our basement. I hate mowing the lawn.
That was really the reason.
Yes. And with the hours that he worked, like we were just never home. We never used our house. We were in our van more than we were in our house. So we sold our house, bought a 37-foot camper, moved it to a campground, and do that every summer, and then just travel around in this. Well, not in this, but in a van.
Not the podcast van.
Yes. That would be cool, too.
That's such a unique lifestyle. I don't think I've met a lot of our owners, and I don't think I've met any other owner who does something similar to that. Mm-hmm. So, and obviously did you grow up in a home? Like, this is not a normal, right. Like, this was not your guys' normal. So it's not like it was, I grew up this way, and we traveled like this, we lived in a trailer, and then or a camper or whatever, and then we, Is it one of those where you can hook it up or do you have to drive it, or
so it is technically we could drive, like we can hook it up to something and drive it. We do not own anything that can tow it.
Yeah.
So it is
37 feet. So.
Yes, it's 37 feet. I want to say it's over 10,000 pounds. So we own nothing that tows that. So we have a seasonal spot at our campground in our town, and it just stays there all year long. We have a 30-foot deck on it.
That's so cool. That must be so freeing to live that way, where you have something like that.
It's just like in the van, like you are very limited on space, and so everything needs to go back where it belongs.
Yeah.
And when too many things end up on the counter, we're like, okay, let's all clean, and so we start cleaning the whole place. But it takes like 30 minutes, and you've done from one end to the other, and you're done.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, from being out at a couple shows with Rob and having vans across from each other, and just seeing how immediately, like, he does not waste a moment when he's done with something. It is the cord's getting wrapped up, it's getting tucked away, it's getting folded and put up, and it's gone. And it's just, I think that might be a little bit of like military.
I think part of that is in there too. Him and I have been very used to in the military. We had a van is so much space compared to what you get on a ship. Like
you get like a bed and that's it.
You think of like the bed that we just put in for Maddie. Mm-hmm. That's essentially the space you have.
Wow.
Like that is the clearance that you're having. It opens up and you have, we call them coffin racks, and you have
what a lovely name.
It is. So it's about this thick.
Wow.
And it opens up, and that's where all of your stuff goes. Like all of your belongings fit in that space.
Wow.
And that's everything. And usually,
that's crazy.
Like I'd be gone for 6 to 9 months, and that's everything that I would need for 6 to 9 months was in there.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's wild.
But you figure, you wear uniforms.
Yeah.
I had to have clothes for 4 days a month. Like normal clothes.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're not just like bringing a bunch of random.
Well, you have online shopping still, so that was an option. Hey, we're hitting a port soon. What do I need to order?
Oh my gosh, that's great. Wow, that's crazy. So not a whole lot of. I guess this probably feels like massive then. I'm sure you're like, wow, I have so much room to do so many things.
Yeah, so we've always been used to like just being very minimal and not having a ton of stuff, and
that's crazy, man.
You wouldn't know it by the pile we have out there. But.
Well, that's not much. Honestly, I've seen some people show up with a lot more, which I am definitely an overpacker and I'm a maximalist, and those two are a bad combination.
Well, and I think it was this trip.
Did I just hear a side comment from the back?
Knowing that we had
the front.
the expo, and then we were driving across the country, and then we were trading in our van, and then we're also going to a music. Like, I packed for 4 different trips.
Yeah, actually, let's talk about that. The transit, when Rob was like, okay, so Vandu wants me to work this show, and this is the plan, and then you're going to come here, and we're going to do all this. Were you just like, we're going to what? We're going to do what?
Well, originally, Maddie and I weren't going to go. So I was supposed to be visiting my family during the week. We had some stuff going on up there, and the entire schedule got changed. I didn't have to go up there anymore, and I was like, I could take some time off work. So then I took a week off. And then I think Shayna was like, oh, hey, I think we'd be ready to have your van ready for pickup that following week if you can. I was like, all right, so I'm going to take another week off.
So how does it feel now, not having been at work for a while?
Yeah, it's weird. I have to go back next week, but it'll be fun. Yeah.
Well, at least you get the festival. I thought you were going to have to go back, like, immediately, so I was worried you weren't going to be here for this.
No.
But that's...
We talked about it. We talked back and forth on it.
I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of I'm sure Maddie's loving it, though.
Yeah, she's having a great time.
I mean, she doesn't have school or anything right now anyway, but...
Yeah, she usually does, like, a summer camp, and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And then right now, where's Maddie at? You know, because Vanlife has brought you two friends.
Yes, so we have made, throughout Van Do It, like, just different pockets of family friends. And so we met the Kellys, our very first box, right, actually... A couple months after we picked up our first van, we went to Torch Lake and met them there. And that was the first time. So about 3 years ago, we met them. And they have a daughter the same age as Maddie. And so she is over there hanging out with them.
That's great.
And we laughed about it on our way. We're like, where else would we have literally physically met a family? I think this is our 4th time meeting them in person. And we're just leaving our kid with them.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I love that.
She'll be fine.
Right. I think that's great. No, that's definitely something, like, as a parent, you know, I mean, even just, like, if it was just you and Rob, you know, you'd want to make friends. You want to, you know, have the experiences to, like, be able to share with other people and bond over, like, what it's like to have a van.
Right.
But I'm sure it's completely different having a kid. I mean, I don't have any kids, but I can imagine, you know, seeing... I mean, I've told Rob this before. I don't know if he's mentioned it to you, but I love how you guys parent, and I love seeing your guys' like, little cute family in a van. I just think it's, like, it's so cool. And I think the way that you guys have brought about, like, Maddie appreciating nature and wanting to, like, do things and not being glued to a screen, my personal opinion, you know, but being able to, like, hear you guys say when we're at Box, like, well, there are kids over there. Just go ask them to play.
Right.
And she's like, okay. And then she just, like, runs off with her soccer ball, you know?
That's usually the first question we get. Anytime we go anywhere, are there going to be kids there? I don't know. Maybe. Yes. I don't know. Yeah. There could be.
And then if there are, go for it.
Right. Yeah. She does have her times where she'll come up to me. She's like, I'm going to be shy today. I'm like, okay.
She's, like, giving you a warning.
Right. I'm like, okay. And then those are the days where she's like, well, will you come and say hi to these kids? I'm not going to come help you say hi to the kids. You're going to go over there.
Yeah.
Say, hi, I'm Maddie. What's your name?
Yeah, you guys are giving her all the tools to be very confident and...
Hopefully.
I mean, and she's independent to, you know, her own level too, where she's like, I don't really want to. I'm going to sit in my little tent and read my book, you know? Yep. Which, honestly, was adorable when she pulled that little pop-up tent out and set it outside of your guys' van.
Well, now that we have a bigger van, we may not even need that pop-up tent anymore. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. That's so exciting. I can't wait to see how she's going to respond to seeing this van. It's probably going to be just, like, the coolest thing. I hope so, anyway. Maybe she's like, oh, it looks cool.
Yeah. We have, like, fun little fairy lights to put under there for her and everything that she got for Christmas. So we've been kind of, like, anticipating this new van.
Great.
So
that's so exciting. Yeah, so what was the decision in wanting a second van? Because you guys had the first one for a while, and I don't even think you submitted a support ticket until 2023? We
usually don't submit support tickets at all. Like, the support tickets we send are like, hey, you guys are doing an awesome job. We don't actually have very many issues. I think the one time we did 2 years ago, our Max Air fan was leaking. And that was it. But that was, I want to say that was a couple different people, like the way that they had put the fan in. And we came in for Bentonville, and they just pulled our van in for that whole time that we were here doing the tour and changed out our Max Air fan, resealed the whole thing, and then like rewired a bunch of our stuff in the back just cause they don't do it that way anymore. And I was like, okay, cool.
That was kind of how it was when I followed your guys' van. There were a lot of things that was like, we don't really do it that way anymore.
They were like, yeah, we don't even wire things like this anymore, so we're going to fix this for you. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see when they put this, when it gets re-inventoried and what they've done to it afterwards, because
oh my gosh, yeah.
we are definitely Stone Age compared to their van. But your question was like, what made us...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, some of the components, the new things that are in this van, like why you chose a Move model, going from the Do.
Well, we chose to upgrade because of Voxes.
Seeing too much of it.
Going to Vox and seeing, all the different options and how, like I said, we're in the Stone Age. Like, we have a 2019. Like, we have one of the oldest fans, I think, that is out there right now.
Probably.
Yeah. And we went very simple. Like, we have nothing fancy in there. Absolutely nothing. We have no storage cabinets. We have... I mean, we don't even use our sink. We have a sink. We don't use them. We have no bug walls. They didn't even have... Those weren't even an option when we ordered.
You have a sink, but you don't use it.
No, we don't use it.
You just put things in the sink and close
We actually joked when we were in the show van, I put bananas in the sink. I was like, this is a great banana holder. So it's where the bananas go.
Oh my gosh. Who needs water?
Yeah. But so, I mean, like going to Voxes and seeing like everything that's been coming out the last couple years. And because, I mean, we've gone to three Bentonvilles, 2 Torch Lakes, I think. We never made it out to Utah, but going and seeing all like what everybody's done and all the cool stuff that's coming out. And then when the Move came out, we were like, yeah, this is what we need. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And so it was pretty quick after that. You were like, okay, we're done.
Yeah. The Move is out. We were like, let's go. Come on. Give me a van. I want a van.
Yeah. How long ago did you guys decide yes, and then it was like in motion? Or it was like, okay, this is your van. What do you want the inside to look like?
We kind of just gave Jared free rein on that. So
a dangerous thing to do.
So we talked to him at Vox last year in Bentonville and just kind of like spitballed what we'd like to see.
Yeah.
And then I think the move was still just like a very tiny little idea at the time. And he's like, I know this is coming out. We'd love to get you in this.
Yeah.
And so we were just kind of waiting for it to actually get released and launched. And then throughout the fall, we started to see it all come out more, and then we had a conversation. They were like, yeah, I think we've got the model down the way that we want it, and we're ready to get you guys in it. And so we gave them like this list of like must-haves, and then said... Which
is basically seats and a bed.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what we said. We don't want a sink. We want an AC, an S-bar, and we want the double beds. And that was it. And I was like, whatever else you want to do, like have fun, whatever you think would work for us.
Yeah.
Do it. If you want to experiment on things...
That's great.
Have a great time.
Yeah. Have a great time.
Enjoy.
That's great. So you guys went with the drawbridge bed for you two. And, well, I guess Rob said sometimes he gets booted to the other bed.
Yes.
And you and Maddie get to cuddle.
But that really doesn't happen often in the van.
Okay,
like, at home, yes.
Yeah.
In the van, she's like, no, I want to sleep in she calls it her area.
Well, it's her little, like, bunk down there now. Yeah. And you have, like, a whole little shelf that's going to be... hers.
Yeah, she's got like all this room to like put all of her little trinkety things.
That's so
yeah, she's gonna have so much fun.
That's fantastic. And then you guys are getting AC, which I know is like.
So we had AC, but we had to be hooked up to shore power to use it, which means I think there was only less than a handful of times that we were able to use it. Yeah,
I know that was like the main thing that Rob was raving about when he had a van to take to a show that had that, and he was just like,
This is so awesome.
James, I'm sure you were getting all the texts like, babe, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
We have to get this.
Well, it's the small things. Like, we're going from AGM to lithium. Our van is so old that we have to, like, almost budget our charging time on our old van. Because, especially if we're parked and we're not driving, like...
Yeah.
Make sure we have our solar out or, do something.
Yeah, you guys have those fold-out panels.
Yep, because we have suitcase solar, which we actually kept for this guy, too. So... Yeah. Just in case. You never know.
Yeah. But better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So. Yep. That's great. Well, we just have like we might actually be over, I don't know. 1 minute. Oh my gosh.
1 minute.
In 1 minute,
hey.
What would you say to someone who is either looking at Van Do It, considering it as their like van builder, or someone who has a van, is thinking about upgrading, and then someone who is like waiting on their van, either for the first time or waiting on the upgrade.
50 seconds. Got it. 50 seconds. Well, it's pretty simple. Just do it. Just do it. Like, that's all I have to say. I know the wait really is not fun. Like, I mean, even just this morning, like pulling in this morning and we're sitting there and we're waiting because you guys were all in your meetings in the morning and we're like, the wait sucks. The wait sucks.
Yeah.
But like being able to see this van and see just the potential in it and how like just different it is than what we have. Like we love our van. We call it the BBV. We love it. But this one's gonna make us like, I don't know. It's just gonna open up so many doors.
That's fantastic. Actually, I have one more question, so we're definitely going to go over because I just thought about this. So we recently kind of like changed our like main slogan to transforming vans, transforming lives. And if you can expand a little bit on how you would say the van has like transformed your guys' life, how it's changed everything, and then kind of like what you see this new van transforming even further, because you just said, you know, it opens up some doors. So
right. Well, I mean, it opens up to just longer trips, being able to actually like go more off-grid kind of things, right? Like we do a lot of stuff. My family all camps, so we do a lot of stuff like camping with them at campgrounds. But like we can go and do so much more with that. We can go out to Yellowstone for a week and not have to worry about anything, not have to worry about ever plugging into anything.
Yeah.
Or like this weekend, we're going to a music festival and we're camping at it and there's no power. Like it's literally just a fairgrounds that you're at.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry. I'm going to have AC. It's going to be 85, 90 degrees and it's going to be fine. I'm just going to turn on my AC and open my bug walls or, you know, whatever. And it's going to be great. So it just gets us to do more as a family and get out more. And plus we added a TV. So
yeah, you get to watch TV.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Now I'll let Rachel be released so she can eat the rest of her sandwich.
Hey!